very hard in Manhattan. By the way, I want to make a big announcement, very big announcement. Thomas Lugauer, the fine producer of this Saturday show, made a prediction about 2 weeks ago, the last time I was on a Saturday. And that prediction was involving Mike Francesa's Twitter account. Obviously, Mike is on Twitter. He's a Twitter star. I am very excited for when he unlocks the 80% of Twitter that I don't even know exists. So I'm pumped up about that. And so we were predicting the speed of Mike's followers. Like, how quickly will he climb the ladder? Because he was climbing it right out of the gate like a wild man. And he had 20,000 before you burped. I mean, he was on fire. And so, you know, I have a healthy number. I haven't even looked at my followers till 2 weeks ago when we started discussing this. And I guess I'm at, hold on one second.
Wait, hold on one second.
What?
Let me jump in here.
Calm down.
We just talked about off the air that you write down everything you eat. And now you're going to tell me that you don't know your Twitter followers.
No, because I don't care about
You write
Twitter.
everything down. You keep score at Met games, but you don't know your Twitter followers. The thing that hits you right in the face every time you turn on Twitter.
It does not. On my Twitter app, it doesn't show up. I have to press a certain button.
You have to go a little out of your
there.
way to find out how many Twitter followers.
Because I don't care. I never cared how many followers I
You're so
had.
into stuff like this and numbers
No, I'm not.
and things. You're not into like numbers and certain things like that? Yes, you are.
Not things like, I'm into things that matter. Okay, so for example, what I was saying to Loogie off air, and this is great advice, and I'll mention it quickly, is that if you're trying to lose weight, you should write down everything you eat. Or you're just looking to build muscle mass, or whatever you're doing, write down what you eat, and mentally, it works for me, you will start to guilt yourself into saying, oh my God, I had to write down 2 donuts. Oh my God, I didn't write down any vegetables or fruits. So I think that helps with that. Yes, I score baseball games. Yes, I write stuff down. That stuff matters. My health matters. Scoring games is something I've been doing since I was 8 years old. Before that, actually, however old I was, whatever. That matters. The amount of followers I have on Twitter does not matter. It's never something I've cared about. Am I supposed to care about it?
Is that the message to all your followers?
No. That's taken the wrong way. It has nothing to do with. I thank anybody that's followed me on Twitter. Absolutely. I like using the 20% of features I've been able to figure out on Twitter. I like to interact once in a while. I like to give out my opinion. So I love Twitter and I love people that follow me. I'm saying I never cared about the number. That's all. Is that really hard to believe? Do I come across like a guy that really cares about the amount of followers I have?
No, but I think a lot of people are locked in on that stuff.
But I'm not.
I mean, me and Rosenberg aren't because we combined for like 2,000 followers. So it's like basically. But when you're in the high rent district like you are, and a big celebrity, I would think you monitor that stuff at least monthly. I am never lying to you about stuff like this. I am honest. If I admit such embarrassing things, and I do, I admit embarrassing things, why would I not admit if I was staring at the amount of followers I had? Of course I'd admit that. I don't look at that. Do I look at our radio ratings? Sure. Do I write that down? Yes. I don't look at the followers we have. Or I have on Twitter. I don't. Or tracking the history of like matchups in fantasy baseball, like how many times I've beaten like Troy in fantasy over the last 4 years. Just take an hour out of your life instead of raising your son here to look at that.
Yes. So I look at, and I'll admit that. Do I do that? Yes. But I don't look at how many followers I have. But here's the point. You get me off track here. A few weeks ago, when the Mike Francesa Twitter account started, somebody told me, and then I looked how many followers I had. All right. So right now I'm at 76,333. All right. 76,338. How did it go up 5 in the last 5 minutes? 5 people followed me in the last few minutes? That's weird.
People click the follow button, Evan.
Yeah, but why now? I didn't even say what my Twitter account name is, which, by the way, is at Evan Roberts WFAN. Okay, so that's the number. So Mike was shooting up 20,000, 30,000. So we talked 2 weeks ago, when will Mike pass me? It's inevitable that he'll pass me. Well, right now, he has passed me by about 300 followers. He is at 76,635, and I'm at 76,338. How about that?
And how many tweets did it take you to get to that number?
Well, I can tell you that right now, at this moment in time, I have tweeted 70,819 times.
Okay.
All right?
And Mike has tweeted?
Mike has tweeted 112. And I've also interacted with people in the past. Mike hasn't still not interacted with anybody. It has still just been, using Twitter as a microphone, which is fine. I use it as a microphone a lot of times, too. I don't always interact. It depends the mood I'm in. It depends where I am. But it took him 112 tweets to get to what is right now. Hold on, I just lost it. 76,639. It moved up a little bit. I love how Twitter numbers move by the second. Like mine just moved up again. Wait, what did I say I was at? 76 what? 353? I'm at 76, 356. Actually, I think it was at 359. I think I just lost 3 followers. I think 3 people are annoyed by this discussion and said I'm out.
I want to make it clear that I've had 534 followers probably for about 2 months.
You know what?
Let me make that clear, Evan.
Let's have some fun with you, Paul, all right?
Us bottom feeders.
Let's have some fun. If I mention your Twitter account's name on the air right now for this wonderful, loyal Saturday audience, do you think your number will increase by 100?
Absolutely not.
No chance.
No way.
No shot.
Will it increase by 20?
No.
No.
Will it increase by 5?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Let's play a little experiment. What number are you at right now? Write it down.
I've written it down. I'm staring at it now.
All right. Now, what is your Twitter account for those who want to follow? Go.
At Paul's Randomness.
Paul's Randomness. So Paul with an S. Paul S. Randomness.
Yes.
All right. Let's see at the end of the show what your number's at. It's an experiment. It's a Twitter experiment. I'll tell you, when we mentioned Eddie Coleman's Twitter account, which we didn't know existed, he went up by a couple of thousand in just a few hours.
How about Eddie C having a burner account? That's great.
Yeah, but that's not a burner account.
Nobody knew that.
Yeah, but he wasn't pretending it wasn't him.
No, but
that's not a burner account. Do you even know what a burner account is?
That's a burner account.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
A burner account is if Mike has already created another account that comments to him about how great he is. That would be a burner account. Now, Lukey, do you think I have a burner account?
No.
No, I do not. I don't even know how to do that. I'm so simple on Twitter, I'm not even sure how I would create a second account. Okay, wait, there's a button. I just clicked on it. It's requesting tokens. Oh, that's not a way to create a new account. That's a way to log into another account. So I guess if you created it for me, then either way, whatever. That's it. So that's the point. So congratulations to Mike. It only took him about 112 tweets, and he has passed somebody like me. Who's next on his list? Boomer? Boomer's got a lot. I think Boomer's got to be, 200,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's 200,000.
It's got to be up there. All right, well, there you go. That's our Twitter segment of the weekend. Let me get to some of your calls. 877-337-6666. Let's go to Rob in Wantagh, who's on the fan. Hey, Rob. Hello, Rob. Robert, are you there?
I am here.
There you are. What's up?
There?
I'm right here, baby.
Okay. Not to beat a dead horse, but going back to last night's game, I know he's at 100 pitches, but why is it that you're so quick to take him out, then you bring in Seawald, he blows it in the 7th, you leave him in the 8th, he blows it again. When will Mickey take responsibility, during the press conference, and say, look, I screwed up? You never hear that from him. Nobody asked him during the post-game, who was available.
Let's start with the 7th inning, though. And I agree. Obviously, I've made it clear. I don't want to hear Gazelman isn't available. Gazelman's got to be available. If you have any interest in winning a baseball game and Jacob deGrom isn't pitching, Gazelman's got to be out there. But when Wheeler gives up the hits to Russell and LaStella to start off the 7th inning, even though the options weren't great, don't you agree they had to take Zach Wheeler out at that point?
I understand that, but I don't know if it was that inning or where was the one what inning was it where Rosario broke for second for the start? Was that inning or was it the 8th?
Where Rosario? On the hit and run play.
The hit and run play, because that kind of, I don't know if that was Seawald pitching or was Seawald in the game at that point.
If memory serves correct, I think that was the LaStella hit. I think Russell was running, and it was a ground ball towards short, and Rosario had obviously gone towards second base. So I agree if your argument, hey, that's a cheap hit, but still, he's over 100 pitches. There's 2 on and nobody out. Do you really think about this? Do you trust Zach Wheeler to get those outs?
I probably don't, but you know what? Sometimes they have to work. He was pitching well. Maybe he gets out. Maybe that's the inning he gets out of a jam. There's always that. There's always
I
that one time,
understand.
that was the time.
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand your point. Thanks for the call, especially with the way things turned out. But Zach Wheeler at that moment never throws more than 103, 104, 105 pitches. Very, very rarely. There's 2 on. There's nobody out. Kyle Schwarber's coming up. It doesn't feel like it's an ideal situation here to keep Zach Wheeler in the game. That's the moment where you need a reliable arm. And unfortunately, they didn't have a reliable arm because Robert Gazelman wasn't available. Mark in Kings Park. How are you, Mark?
Hey, Evan. I'm one of your 76,000 or whatever Twitter followers.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, and thanks for commenting on a couple of my posts or whatnot in the past.
No problem.
But I feel like you just contradicted yourself completely.
Go ahead.
Is the reason behind why, right? Is this core the way it's made up of? On SNY, about a weekish or so ago, they said, which I can believe this to be true, and until I thought about it, is the Mets. Not only do they have 1 home run at the cleanup spot all year long, in the modern era, they are on pace to have the worst OPS ever. To me, that's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And that's great. Cespedes isn't playing. Fantastic. Nobody on the team besides Cespedes could help that stat. That blows my mind. Therefore, because we have no farm system, and because our core is old and terrible, and we're not just Manny Machado away from winning it and competing, we're entire bullpen away too. How can we not trade DeGrom? How can we not get anything back and develop a farm team so we can actually be good for not a year or a lucky year or 2 years, but actually sustain that so we can be good for many years to come? We never are. And it's mind-boggling.
Because if you – let me ask you this. All right, here's why. Mm-hmm. Here's my plan, and let's just go into a fictitious world where the Mets are actually going to spend a little bit of money. If they sign Manny Machado, that's it, just that guy, Manny Machado, and you now have a core moving forward of Machado, Rosario, Conforto, Nimmo, maybe Peter Alonso, maybe Dom Smith, and Cespedes for 2 more years because you're not trading him. You don't think that core offensively could be pretty good?
No. The reason why I don't,
why?
Number one, I'm not sold on Conforto. Number one, Rosario still has a lot to prove. He's still young.
Oh, I get that.
Absolutely. There's still a lot of question marks.
No, but I'm not disagreeing that there are questions about them, but that's the point. The questions haven't been answered that they can't be good. You know, Rosario's only been in the major leagues for how long? A little bit of last year, a little bit of this year. You're right about Conforto. He's been up and down. He has shown us he can be an all-star. He was last year. So, yeah, there's a lot of questions in that, but you don't think that has a chance to be successful?
Well, at the same time, though, also, right? You're also living in a fantasy world by saying that. Number one, we're not getting Manny Machado, okay? And if we would get Manny Machado, right, we shouldn't even stop there. How about getting an actual closer?
Yeah, but wait a second. That is my point, as I said earlier, and thanks for the call. My point earlier was the only realistic way, in a quick sense, relatively quick sense, you can build this team again is to either get one of the big free agents, which we both agree is not going to happen, or, what was the other thing I said? Or, then, you got to trade the pitchers. Because if you continue to try Band-Aids, the odds are you're never going to be that good. So before we go into the world of trade DeGrom and trade Syndergaard, I hold out hope deep in my soul that this organization can go out and make that kind of monstrous move that could change everything. Because the thing about Bryce and the thing about Manny and why they're special and why there is an importance to doing something unorthodox, and that's actually going after them, is most time free agents are in their 30s. Most times free agents are Todd Frazier and Jay Bruce and Josh Donaldson and whomever. Not that they're bad. Not that Josh Donaldson is bad. He's 32, 33 years old. When you get the opportunity to sign a guy who's in the prime of their career, you got to take that leap. And the thing about DeGrom is that he looks like an ace. He is an ace right now. Because he hasn't thrown a lot of innings, I don't believe his window is 2-3 years. It could turn out to be that way. We saw what happened to Matt Harvey. But I look at him and I see a guy who could pitch at this level potentially for 5 years, not 2 years. We'll come back. We'll talk to Bill Ryder, plus some fascinating statistics on that Twitter study we just did.